What is up, guys? Ncaa 31 here, bringing you a game of Ncaa 14. This is a friends list affair. I am Colorado. My opponent is Toledo. This is a guy who I'm in online dynasty with, and I've played countless times throughout the years. And I was going to do this video a heck of a lot sooner, but this week's past games were so bad that motivation for it was kind of tough, and this week's games aren't that much better. There were a couple of good games that were watchable this past weekend. Georgia Tech, UNC was one of them. As you guys know, I'm a little bit of a closet, well, more, I wouldn't say closet. I am an open Paul Johnson fan, and like to see him do well. And of course, my Fighting Irish beating Michigan State. So going around the country, there isn't really a whole heck of a lot to say so far because we really don't know how good a lot of these teams are yet. I mean, this was one of those weeks where you just had dog crap all over the schedule. And what happens with some of these games is that these teams, these top 25, top 30 teams, and they have these dog crap opponents, sometimes they sleepwalk through games. These are college kids. It's going to be hard to keep them motivated on a week-to-week. That's why you see Colorado State hanging with Alabama for close to 3.5 quarters. Or Michigan again struggling to get up for a game. And stuff like that. Georgia sleepwalking through North Texas before they decide to wake up. So you have that. And this week you have some better games going on. You have Notre Dame, Oklahoma. You have, what else do you have out there? You have Georgia, LSU, which is really the first, I would say, marquee matchup of this season. You have some other games between ranked opponents, OSU, Wisconsin. I'm not sold on Wisconsin yet. Alabama and Mississippi. We'll get more of an idea of how good Mississippi is. I'm going to get to Alabama for in a second. I think Alabama is showing some signs that there may be some chinks in the defensive armor. Well, more than signs, I think they have some problems. I thought Alabama was just going to steamroll to another BCS title game appearance. Now I'm not quite sure. A lot of that will go towards what LSU and Georgia show me. But let me, of course, start with Notre Dame, as I am YouTube's resident Notre Dame fanatic and Tommy Rees apologist and defender. Notre Dame's season is going pretty much the way I thought it would go, at least offensively. They're seeing what I thought they would see. I mean, Rees is playing as well as he could possibly play. Teams aren't just going to line up and let Notre Dame run the ball and give Rees easy throws to make. It's very hard to run a spread offense if your quarterback isn't at least a respectable threat to run the football. And what do good teams do? They know that Rees can't hurt them on the ground, so they're going to jam the line of scrimmage, force him to make tight throws. I mean, the spread is just all about basic math. You know, you spread the field out horizontally. If you see two high safeties, you'll run the ball till they get out of it. If they bring a safety down, you'll either pass the ball or eliminate their man advantage in the box by running the quarterback or by optioning. If they show you a heavy dose of man free or cover zero, you'll throw the ball. You'll occasionally run play action pass against man 2 and all that good stuff to break the tendency, but you get the idea. With Notre Dame, without Golson, there's no QB run threat, so guys just disregard that part of the equation, and they're just going to challenge Notre Dame receivers to get off press man coverage and Rees to make tight throws because he's not that physically gifted. Defensively is a little bit of a surprise. I thought they would be further along in the secondary at the corner position. I thought that Notre Dame would be able to play more of a Nick Saban style 3-4 this year. Don't make any major busts on first and second down. Play tight man coverage all over the field on third down. Get off the field. That has not happened. They can't do that. Their corners are still very dicey. And I don't really know how big of a test Oklahoma will be because I don't really know how good Oklahoma is. Oklahoma has played who? UL Monroe, Tulsa, and West Virginia. So we'll find out more about Oklahoma this week. We'll find out about LSU and Georgia this week. Georgia at least has been tested against Clemson, and I think Georgia's a pretty good team. And also against South Carolina. No clue about LSU yet. From what I see from LSU so far, at least, based on what they showed against Auburn, LSU has a pretty good offense that they're actually willing to use, as opposed to last year where they just played so close to the vest offensively. But again, who have they played? They played TCU, a decent TCU team, UAB, Kent State, and Auburn, who I think is going to be on their way in the upcoming years. I think Auburn is going to be on the way back under Gus Malzahn. I think he'll get that program back ready for prime time. They're not quite there yet. Alabama, don't think Mississippi is going to test them all that much. I think Alabama has some big time issues on defense. When you keep on losing guys in the secondary to the NFL, it's going to show up eventually. And what you see out of Alabama is you see coverage busts now, and you see guys just flat out getting beat, and they don't have a pass rush. They have a hard time generating a base pass rush. That puts those corners on an island. It puts a lot of stress on the secondary, and the secondary has been breaking down. On offense, against the one good defense they've played, Tech, they struggled. Tech, I think, has the best defense in the country. And they have the talent there, which was on display against A&M, who isn't a great defensive team. So we'll see whether the O can bail out the D for once. But other than that, there's not a whole heck of a lot to go by. So hopefully this week's games will reveal more. I'll have more to talk about. Talk to y'all later.